Cool. If blood starts coming out of my nose, you guys will know why. No.
Make good for good streaming.
Yeah. Why is Chad's nose bleeding? Oh,
it's one of those anime things. Just let it go. Let it go.
I saw Tom and he was cute, and I was like, hey, Tom, how's it going? You make my nose bleed.
That's why I walk by your table every time at the con every like 20 minutes, just to keep your energy up.
You do, yeah, it's true. You do. You walk by, you give me a little butt shake, and I know just goes, all right, I'm awake. I like what I'm seeing. But yeah, no, I've been. I guess I gotta go ask. I guess I'll just email him and say, hey, Martheus' kid deleted my files.
Yeah,
just find it.
Straight up blame him.
Gonna have to.
His name is Anakin anyway. I mean,
okay, well that's your fault now. Like,
he's predisposed to like doing dark side things. So,
well, we're a full 15 in. Is this what our show's about today? The missing files.
Yeah,
it's about problem childs named Anakin and what not to name your kid.
I would bet the four of us have some pretty good problem child stories because we were probably all the problem children.
Oh yeah, I definitely will.
I mean, I'm an identical twin, so yeah.
No, there's two of you.
Mm-hmm.
Get out.
Really?
Yeah. There's two of us. We're identical twins.
Wow, that's cool.
We yeah. So when it's like, which one of you was this problem child? Well, we both were. So, but obviously he
TV show from the 80s, Double Trouble.
I do.
With Mary twins from Greece too. Yeah, they were cute. They were cute.
Yeah, they're
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Remember that one too. Yeah. Those two, actually, shockingly, they've done very well for themselves.
Yeah, they have.
So one of them.
All right, let's cut the preamble. Let's roll that opening and then let's talk about.
Oh yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm discombobulated, but I'm always discombobulated. Like, that's not. Where the is the video? Oh, I don't have it up.
Fun.
Oh, right. I'm supposed to preload it.
This is the best start to a podcast I have ever been a part of.
We're just giving people a chance to, to find it and to get on, and so we haven't talked about anything important yet.
No.
I don't know if Chad's evil twin has a rolling octopus bones comic.
Yeah, he needs. If this is your evil twin, you need a mustache and an eye patch.
It's rolling squidness is what it is. That's what it is. Okay, fine. I will go grab the video. Be right back. Everybody, just a quick panic.
Okay. Well, Tom, thanks for joining us on this one. This is you were here the last time, right? If I remember correctly, if I'm getting all my dates correct.
I haven't been here.
Oh,
well, I don't know what I mean. I've seen you guys doing this, and I've kind of been in the chat room from time to time, but I don't. It's been, if I have been on, it's been a while since I've been on. We appreciate you popping on. We've had a couple people that weren't able to come on, and we appreciate you coming on. And we are a wealth of knowledge for comic book creating and publishing and conventions. So we appreciate you coming on and sharing that knowledge with us and the millions and millions of viewers of the cosmos. I'm a well-known pinch hitter for podcasts. Everybody kind of knows that, like, if someone cancels, call Tom. Somebody call Tom. I think he can probably do it. And we appreciate you coming in. It's I'd say 90% chance of yes. That's awesome.
You absolutely were on, Tom, before you lied.
Yeah, but when? But no, I said it's been a while, is what I said.
You did, and it's
been a minute.
Actually, which one? Yeah. Oh, which cartoon should get live action?
That's right. That's right. Because I wasn't able to make that one.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't remember which one exactly it was. And Tom, I'm going to be honest with you. I was mad that I wasn't, because I was able to watch a little bit of it wherever I was. I don't remember where I was. And oh boy, I wanted to be a part of that conversation so bad. Those were great conversations. Great.
I bring the hottest of takes wherever I go. The thing
I've
with me
heard
is that the thing with me is that I'm an amazing devil's advocate, right? So it doesn't really matter what the subject is. I can sort of like sit and wait and watch everybody else say like blah 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 blah, and then when it gets to me, it doesn't even matter if I agree with them. I'll bring the other side.
Nice.
That's just the way it's going to be.
Wasn't Hot Takes your nickname in high school?
Probably should have been.
Should have been. I think it was.
Okay, got the video.
Oh, we got to roll it. There it is.
You gotta give me the updated one. Okay, welcome
Still a
everybody.
good-looking video, but it does need to be updated a little bit.
It does need to be updated a little
This kind of
bit.
thing is hard for a lot of people to do. It's a lot of commitment. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of like pre-gaming and stuff like that. And in the middle of making comic books and the real job and family, it can be tough.
Mm-hmm. No,
So
it is.
We appreciate people who can jump in like Tom is and can make it and can do all this stuff. It's not easy. It's just the promoting of your own book is full-time gig. Martha's can back me up on that one.
I hate promoting my book. I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to say it like that. I love.
No, I feel that.
Book, but I don't like promoting the book. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult. It's like it's trying to pull people. You know, hey guys, come look at my book. You know, it's just kind of like that. I don't like that.
It's almost like before people, especially in this, because it's hard to plug an indie comic. They almost have to like you, or they like the book, right? Yeah, right. You have to be the presence, the person, the smile, the whatever it is, the enigmatic person that they're like, oh, okay, yeah, they said that funny thing on that podcast. Let me go check out, an issue of their book.
People like my wife better than me, but my wife don't like people. So it's just kind of like, trying to get her to do stuff. She's like, nah, man, I'm good. I won't do that. You do it. I'm just like, they don't like me, though. They like you.
No, I bet they like you just fine.
No, they don't.
I like you.
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, I think you're all right so far.
Thanks, David.
so far. Who knows?
So good. I mean,
so great. You guys are awful.
We'll get to know each other more at Thanksgiving dinner, the Cosmos Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, we're having a Thanksgiving dinner?
I think we can schedule it right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
We'll do it on November 32nd.
November 32nd. So, yeah, that's great. That makes sense.
That sounds good. Well, let's get to the topic here. We talked a little bit last time about conventions, about the pros and the cons, the do's and the don'ts. So I think we wanted to roll that into today's topic to be able to talk about how we prepare for, and we can still talk about do's and don'ts, pros and cons, but how we prepare for conventions, what works for each individual us as creators, and maybe things that we've tried that didn't work, that maybe could or worked one time and didn't work another time. So I'm about to actually this weekend. I have AnchorCon, which is a convention that's a little bit north of Watertown, New York here, and I always do really well at AnchorCon. I really like the convention. I found out the other day, and you guys will probably laugh at this, that I am the lone comic book creator at this whole convention. There are no other comic book creators at this convention.
Really?
What's all there? What's going to be there?
What's the convention?
They do a lot of cosplay. They do a lot of toys. They do a lot of Legos. There are
it's Funko Pops. The con
back issues. There are people selling back issues of comics, but I'm the sole comic book creator. They usually have 2 or 3 more people that are indie creators, and some people that have worked a little bit higher up in the industry. But for some reason this time, no, which it actually kind of worked out for me, because now I'm kind of in a better position on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that kind of works out in my favor. I wish that there were more creators at a convention like this, but it could work out in my favor. We'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see. Next time I'll give you updates. Next time we all get together and say whether it worked out or not. But setting up for the convention or getting everything ready for the convention and trying to plus up my table every single time I go to a different convention is what I've been focusing on the last couple days. So, Tom, what do you have any conventions coming up, and what are things that you do to prepare?
Oh, I don't prepare anymore. Preparing is that's for the birds. I have my preparation is basically a checklist. I go into the warehouse. It's like, I need these products. Do I have these products in this box? Go to the con. That's it. That's the preparation. The only real sort of preparation that is needed is if a new book has suddenly landed, it needs to get put onto the checklist. So I make sure I have the new stuff on the table. But other than that, it's like, for me, because I do so much stuff, every time I go to a con, everything is always different anyway. So I'm always Tetrising the table a different way because there's different product, more product, different racks, like whatever it happens to be. So for me, it's just a Tetris challenge. How am I going to set it up this time? But that'll also depend on, okay, do I have one table or two? Are they 6-foot tables or 8-foot tables? Like, because sometimes you never know what you're getting at these places. So you might plan for 8 feet of table space and you only have 6, and then you're hosed. You might think you have enough room for a banner in the back, but then you only have this much space. So it's sometimes it's a crapshoot. When you're going to the places that you have been before and you kind of know, like, I know how this works, then it's a lot easier. But for me, I've always just kind of I've always kind of had the thought process of the just general marketing, right? Especially in a con like that, at Comic Cons, because you want to have something that is behind you that is tall enough that someone's going to see it if they're walking down the aisle, right? Like, you can see that tree in the background, right? That's me. If I'm up here, I can see that tree and I can be like, oh, what is that back there? Then as they get closer, you want to have something else sort of at the next level. And that's like a rack, right? Like racks are usually about two feet high. So as they get close to the table, the eye goes from the banner or whatever it is that you have behind you down, and then they've hit the rack. Now they're on something else. The rack then takes you down the rack to whatever you have happening to like sit on the table. So it should always be sort of like a really easy flow of the eye movement to kind of take you down. And I've done variations of this with original art and just all kinds of stuff over the years. But I don't think there's really a right answer to, what's your final table. But the eye movement through the table from there to there to there to there, that's kind of what I've always tried to tell people and explain people. Like, if you only have one banner, center it behind you. Don't like have it off kilter, like one way or the other. Like center it so it goes from banner to you to whatever your product is. If you have 2 banners, put one on each side. Let those go down to your racks or whatever. So just kind of keep there's a term for that. It's a little bit of a feng shui, right? It's just kind of like this. It should flow as people come to your table and see what's going on.
Like displaying your colors as the king sitting in the middle on your throne.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's sort of the generalization that I have when I go to kind of set up somewhere.
Sure. Matthias, what about you?
Mine is pretty, I set up the same way almost all the time, except for when space doesn't provide, like Tom was saying, like when space doesn't provide, then I kind of improvise and kind of pare down. But I try to be able to do the same thing each time. My kind of thing is that most of the conventions that I go to have been for, up until this year have been a lot of anime conventions. Been like a lot of anime conventions, and a lot of those conventions are like, it's kind of like sensory overload, like a lot of stuff that's going on and a lot of big cosplays and stuff like that. And even when I was setting up at San Diego Comic-Con, it was huge. Everybody's like, their eyes are like getting drawn everywhere. I try to be. I'm trying to set up my stuff as being the calm spot inside of that. So it's kind of like, you know, you have like a whole bunch of stuff just flying all over the place, and then you have like a pretty much a set standard, very clean kind of looking table. That's kind of how I've been able to. I've been kind of setting up. I try to make it as clean as I possibly can, as inviting as I possibly can. And because a lot of my books are kind of almost, I'm getting a little bit out of that, but at the beginning, a lot of my books were kind of kid friendly. When I was starting back up going to cons and stuff, I want to be able to have it something that you know, kids, teens, and their parents don't feel like it's kind of, you know, awkward to come up and start a conversation. So a lot of times I'll do things like, you know, like draw. I used to invite kids up to draw, but sometimes I stopped doing that because
it got weird.
It got weird, and then it got a little bit competitive. Like you'd be surprised how many kids like would be like competing with each other, and that's not the case. You know, you don't want to be like, my drawing's better than yours. Like we actually had a
I do
between two kids where they were like, my drawing's better than yours, and it's just kind of like, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? So I kind of stopped doing that. But so I'll draw. I'll do examples. Sometimes I'll have a computer and I'll bring my iPad and draw where you can see what's happening on the computer and then explain what I'm doing if I have time. And you know, it just depends on space on that one. Like I have, you know, a lot of mine is martial arts based, a lot of my books and stuff. So I have like ninja stars that kids can take, you know, and stuff like that, little origami ninja stars that I make, and I have those out. Kids can take them and stuff, and I just don't throw them. You know? I don't want to see a little Timmy walking out in handcuffs, man, because you put somebody's eye out. No, we're not doing that. You know, so yeah, that's me, man. Just trying to keep it as clean as possible, and also too, this is a big thing, is that always like look active. Not like you have to jump up and like do a TikTok dance or something, but you know, just
but you could
yeah, man. Like for real, like this last Anime Blues Con, my son had some of his friends there, and they were talking and bantering back and forth and stuff like that, and you'll be surprised how energetic that actually makes the booth look. And people come up and want to be a part of that, even if they're just looking in, trying to figure out, they're looking at your book, trying to figure out what it's about and stuff like that. Man, the most off-putting thing is walking through a convention and you're interested in something, and then the person is just kind of like, you know, doing their own thing, and you want to ask them a question, but they're, you know, you're like, hey, excuse me, and they're just kind of like,
I don't mind the top of the head. What I do mind is when they see you and they do this. And then they just look right back down again. Like, oh, okay.
I hate that. So I just kind of keep on going. Like, and I don't want to put people off that way. I want to be as inviting and, you know, talk to people as much as I possibly can. And and that's a big thing. So if I'm looking down, my wife is usually the one that's talking to people. And if I'm talking to somebody over here, she's talking to somebody over there. My son is the one that's actually doing what he's doing. So, so we kind of rotate out.
That's awesome to have that team behind you too.
A
lot of times it's just one person there, and that, you know, it's hard to if you're talking to one person and then another person rolls up, you want to give them attention too, but you don't want to be rude to the person that you're sitting here. So that's nice to be able to have somebody, hey, you want to talk to the artist or the writer or whatever it is.
It's difficult. And then we had like we used to have like an Anime Blues Con at San Diego Comic-Con and Memphis Comic Expo that's getting ready to come up in September. We have like a booth that's like it's like a corner booth that's one and then another here, and it's kind of like we have stuff everywhere on those tables, kind of like, you know, boxed, you know, like high and stuff like that, so people can come up and look at it, thumb through it and stuff like that. But when it was just me doing all of that, man, it was difficult. It was like trying to be in 15 million places, and then somebody wants to check out, buy something, and I'm just kind of like, But now it's a lot better having somebody like, this is where you stayed. My son stays there. You know, my wife is either here or over there, and I'm switching back and forth with her. It's a lot easier.
Good, yeah. Chad, what's your process?
Oh, my booths are perfect. I don't have a process. They just manifest
Excellent.
on the moment I walk into the convention, it just manifests there, and it's.
I can see you having everything in just a giant blanket on a stick, and then you just like lug it under, boom, and just like opens up in a pile, like whatever. Take
You
it.
have no idea how close you are, David.
That is not true at all.
I bet. It just like piled up.
Listen,
it's falling onto the floor. Whatever.
Listen, that is not true. I have little divider things that make sure it doesn't fall on the floor, okay? But other than that, yes, there's just a giant pile of stuff and you just take whatever you want.
Nice.
It's super fun. No. So usually what I do is I haven't perfected it yet. I just take whatever's new, whatever I have on stock, and then I just put them all neatly in a little stack with little displays, racks, like little book stands, and I line them up, and that's what I do. And then I put the books either behind it, but then Tom told me to
Line them
up. Okay, sometimes they are crooked. Okay. And sometimes the tablecloth is crooked too. And Tom is like, he'll come over. Okay, so listen, let's not talk about my process. Let's talk about Tom, how he gets on my ass about tables. It's just, so I mean, my process when it comes to setting up for a convention is I just take whatever I have available and I bring it there and I see what sells. But really what I try to do when it comes to trying to get sales is I try to stand up as much as I can. I try to be facing forward and actually pay attention to what's going on and seeing what people are looking at and buying. When we were at Motor City Nightmares, I'm like, good Lord, I should have just brought a Jason Funko Pop and put it on my damn table because everybody was walking around with Jason stuff. And then sometimes just pointing and saying, hey, nice cosplay. What's up? Like just really trying to have a conversation with people. So unless there's nobody at the convention. So yes, I'm still salty about that.
Man, I got stories about that.
Like really cool con there was no other comic creators except like 2 other people. 3 other people, and it was just like a toy show, and that's what it was with Motor City Nightmares this year. Like there wasn't any creators and there wasn't any good people there, and there was great artists. Like there were people with talent there, but it was just it was not great. It's really hard to prepare for something when when the convention is just like dead.
Well, and even the dealers, like they had the most bare bones, basic bitch assortment of stuff.
Right.
There's nothing good on this floor here. There's nothing really vintage. There's an old poster guy, which is cool, but nobody really had anything going on. It was like everyone kind of showed up and just checked out immediately. Well, this is what we do. It's the same thing all the time. This is what we do. So bring the people in, and then like nobody showed up as far as like attendees, and except for the people that were going to see the movie stars, of course. But
was that 1 day or 2 day con that happened?
3
day. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Do you hope the next day is better, or do you get halfway through the second day and then call it quits, or did you just stay for the 3 days and you're like, whatever happens, happens?
Oh, I stayed. I always stay. I don't bug out.
Yeah, I stay too.
Yeah, I don't bug out, because the thing is that even if you have like a couple of bad days, Sunday could be the surprising day. You just never know when it might turn around. So there's no point. Now, once it got to the show closed at like 5 or something. Once it got to about 3 o'clock, I was closing down. I was like, this is it. Same. I can see it. I can look at this room, and it's just, there's nobody here. So you shut down early, but don't bug out like the whole day early, because you might, in this case, it didn't matter, but you might be surprised. I have been to shows where it's like, okay, Friday and Saturday we're slop and I'm not expecting anything, and then Sunday the wallet's open for whatever reason. So
and you could have other vendors that are coming up and seeing your stuff, or just to like meet and greets and to get do a little networking and all that stuff. So you never know what's going to happen in that last hour, whatever 2 hours of whatever it is.
Yep.
Hey, you meet buddy. Like if you have people there that that you can just shoot the shit with, like when Tom was there, and just shoot the shit with them. So it's not always bad, but we are there to make sales, you know.
Yeah.
So, when it comes down to it.
How do you supplement? Like, is there anything that you would like your go-to thing that you would do to supplement your time while using the time productively, but not making money at it? I have a couple things that I would do, but what would you guys do?
Well, at Motor City, Chad and I just brainstormed a story. Basically, we were just like I'd come back 20 minutes later, like, what if we did that way? And he'd be like, yeah.
It's like, actually, what if we did that? And then it's like, hell yeah. So
that was kind of funny. Yeah, that was kind of funny. I sometimes at shows, I'll supplement, whether it's bad or not, I'll supplement the con just in general by just going live, like on Facebook. And I'll just be like, hey, we're at whatever show. And if you guys can't be here, we're going to, we'll sell you some books online, whatever. So I do that a lot. I've been doing that for a lot of years, and that helps. I mean, even if you throw an extra couple $100 on the pile, from doing that can go a long way. So, but yeah, normally if it's really slow and I don't have Chad to brainstorm with, I'll end up brainstorming a lot by myself. I'll just sit and write. I'll just start taking notes and, thinking about things. Okay, well, I got to get home. I got to write this script. I got to do this. I'll start working on what's to come for the week and just sort of use it as prep time for the next step of things. I always have Kickstarters coming, who do I have to talk to as far as my artists? I start sending messages out. Hey, where's my damn art? And I get pissed off because I'm pissed off at the show and they have to take the brunt of it. But, that kind of stuff. So, there's ways to actually supplement the con live sales and stuff. And then there's ways to just supplement it for yourself. And just not go crazy at a super slow show.
It's that idea of people. I'm sure you guys get the question all the time. How do you find the time? What do you do? I don't have the time to do this. I don't have the time to do that. I want to make a book, but I can't find the time. But it's utilizing that sort of stuff. Utilizing that time to be able to say, it might be a very busy con, but I would still draw, still talk to people, but still have stuff to do or draw or write or whatever it is, and be able to get in the span of a 2 or 3 day con, still get 3 or 4 pages inked, you know what I mean? Or 2 or 3 stories written or 2 or whatever it is. So, it's that utilization of the time that I think is super important in those kind of situations.
I think so, but I also sometimes what I do to supplement my time too is I just try to have fun and see what's going on. Like if it is slow and I have the ability to leave the table, I will walk around and Tom was like, Chad, go watch The Howling, and so I bought that DVD and just to see exactly what's out there at the con, because sometimes I'll be like, God, why is everybody over there? And it'll turn out that it's just like this big Funko Pop thing. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, you've really got it out for Funko Pops, man.
They
really got it out for them.
Listen, after a really cool con, they're the bane of my existence. And yes, there are some.
You would hate San Diego Comic-Con then, man. They had a big, gigantic Funko Pop like booth. And it was like you could see it from a mile away.
Yeah. Was it the official one though?
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. The guy who created Funko Pops is he had a house on Coronado Island. I didn't know that. We actually went by there, and that's where he lived up until blow up a Funko Pop. So I'm thinking. What'd you say?
I said until his cheap little bastards exploded.
Exploded. So, I mean, I don't know. It looked like it was the official joint, though. I mean,
they've had a real booth there for many, many years.
Yeah. It was pretty nice. I'm not a Funko Pop guy, you know what I mean? But I can respect the game on that one. That was nice.
Sure. I mean, I'm sorry. If it's like the official booth, that's different. Like because they are there to promote their brand. They are there to be successful,
right?
I'm talking about the reseller people.
Like
those ones who are like, oh, here's this Nightcrawler pop for $50.
Well, the thing with the Funko Pops for me is it's not even that they're there at a con, it's that there's too much of it at a con, right? So like if you had a con and you had like okay, we're going to let 2 guys in. He's going to have Funkos on that side. He's going to have Funkos on that side, and that's it. But when you go to just like, and every aisle has like 3 dudes with Funkos in it. It's like, what is this con? This is Funko Con. It's not even anything anymore. It's just pops. So I feel like, you know, promoters have to be sort of aware of like what they're filling their hall with. Now, at some point, they just have to sell tables. And if they're unable to sell tables, they'll sell it to whoever is going to give them $500. So, you know, that's that. But I kind of have a sense that that's where it all starts, is whoever wants to pay us the most first, you can come in here, even if it's the same stuff. Sure. And so, you know, as a fan, as an attendee, because I still go to shows just as an attendee, if I'm going in there and I'm just like, this is just endless rows of the same garbage, you know, what is the point here?
Yeah. That kind of brings me to my next question. Is we were talking a little bit about like the quantity of things. As a creator, I have like I'm very proud, so I'm going to say it out loud. I did it in like 2.5 weeks because summertime. I'm a teacher, and I just like buckled down and did it. I just finished a full issue of The Offspring in 2.5 weeks from start to finish. I just published it up on Amazon and started getting all the ball rolling on that. So issue 33 just came out. So I have 33 issues of a single book, and then 5 one-shots, 2 graphic novels, and a 4-issue miniseries, as well as my novel that I wrote. So I don't bring all that to the con. I bring the trades, and I bring a couple issues of each of my one-shots. Do you guys bring everything you have created or have published, or do you kind of pick and choose depending on the con? Matthias, what do you think?
I pick and choose depending on the con. Like if for instance, like if I went to 2 library conventions, and for the library conventions, I lean heavily on my kid-friendly stuff, like very, very kid-friendly stuff. But I brought more trades. I have trades and I have hardcovers still. So I brought more trades and hardcovers because the kids that actually buy are used to buying, like, say, manga and stuff like that. So longer reads than floppies. And it worked out pretty well because we actually ended up selling to a lot of schools that were there too. So a lot of schools will come up, buy something to put it in their library at their school. Yes. So librarians. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
But then I went to a convention that it wasn't really a convention. It was more like a store celebration. So it was a celebration of one particular store had been open for, I think, 10 years. So they invited me to come out and set up. So me and my wife went to set up. And there I brought a few trades, but I brought mostly like sketch cards and floppies. And the reason why is because it was a store celebration, and I felt like the sloppies, not the sloppies, the floppies would sell a lot better than the trades would, and they were cheaper. We priced them down to to sell, and then the sketch cards I feel are universal. There are, they can go either way. So I brought those as like this catch-all thing. I always take the sketch cards just because I feel like that if all else fails, the sketch cards will sell. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's usually just depending on the theme and the feel of the convention. Now, when I go like to bigger conventions, I take a lot of stuff. Like we have plushies of our characters. We have little figurines of our characters. We have fans that we made. We have little small umbrellas that we made with our characters and stuff on it, and some other characters because I draw on that. And then the books. So we bring all that stuff, but it's a bigger space. Like we have enough space for that, so we'll bring it all. But we don't bring like every box that we have of everything. We'll say a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then if we sell out, great, we sold out. We're good. But we still pick and choose what we're bringing per convention too.
Nice. Chad, what about you?
I just bring whatever I have, truthfully.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I, my supplies, the stuff that I have is very limited. Like I have issue ones of Set the Hook 1 and 2. I have issues of Miss Tilney and just the stuff that I publish through us. So I just bring that, and then I always bring our newest title. So usually though, I will throw like prints and stickers on the table just to give out for free. Otherwise, if you're an adult and you ask, it's $1. But if it's a child, they'll always get something for free. Like if they want it, they can just take it, except the books.
So you don't worry about specific amount of books or a specific amount of like 4 of each issue, so that you don't sell out right away. So hopefully you do sell out, but not like
I try to at least try to at least bring 10 copies of each. So, and just for that particular reason, because sometimes I am paranoid that I will sell out too fast. Which is never really the case. But yes, I will bring a set number of books.
Nice.
Unless it's like Blue Lullaby, then I only bring like 5 trades of that. So, but the other stuff, usually about 10 each.
Okay.
So,
nice.
But my Funko Pops, though, I bring all of them.
All of them.
So
You're just surrounded by.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
you can make one of those little like halos, like get one of those hats that have the brims on them and glue the Funko Pops on them, just spin them.
Right, exactly. So,
yeah. Tom, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Marthea said, it depends on where you're going. Like when I went to Motor City, I didn't bring, Critter and stuff like that, because that's not gonna. Odds are it's not gonna, translate. So, it all really depends on where you're going. But at any sort of general Comic-Con, I just bring everything. There's nothing that we do that doesn't get representation. We have trades, we have singles, we have variants, we have toys, we have everything. So again, that's the Tetris, right? It's like, okay, we have 2 new books, so we have to re-Tetris the table now so that the new stuff can get into this place again. But yeah, as far as how much, usually I stack it up, so we bring 10 of everything. And then on our volume 1 trades, I'll generally bring 15 or 20, just because, as we all know, people will be like, well, I'll get number 1. Like, all right, fine, take number 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bring like 10 sets and then sell out all the number 1s. And then the people that want a set can't get a set.
Yeah.
So we'll bring extras on the issue 1s. What I found when we do floppies though, is like for Goth Day, for example, we'll have like 3 issues of Goth Day. People will just buy them all. They'll just be like, oh, just give me all 3. It's fine. It's $15. Give me all 3. It's really rare that they're like, I'll just take 1 when it comes to the floppies. But when it comes to trade paperbacks, people are like, yeah, let me just try volume 1. And then it's like, okay, then do what you want to do. But yeah, we at real cons, everything is on the table. Now that's good because everything's on the table, but the tricky part to that is making that functional so that when somebody comes to the table, you're like, okay, what am I looking at?
Yeah. Overload, visual overload. You want
yeah. Right. So you've got to really have an awareness of like marketing your stuff to be like in sort of these chunks of like, okay, here's all of this is Penny for Your Soul. Over here, all of this is Critter and whatever. It can't just be haphazard and all over the place. You got to have a real layout so that you can kind of move people through it as they're looking. Well, over here we have this, and then you come through here and you come through here and you come through here and over there and okay, what do you like? What do you vibe on? And we go back to it. Oh, okay, well, you like this. Let me tell you more about this. And, we go from there. Usually
I also try to display it of what's most popular or what I think most people will be interested in. Like we're at the horror con, I'll have like the horror books more front and center. But if I was at Motor City Comic Con, I have Age of Yokai and Miss Tilney in the middle. So I try to mix it up as much as I can. But it's I digress. Sparkle Dog is still our bestseller for whatever the hell reason. So I don't know why. And at this point, it's just kill me. So.
You need to get a Sparkle Dog Funko Pop.
Nice.
No, damn it! Stop. Right Everybody needs to stop.
Nice. You put it right there in the center, right in front of your face.
Speaking of, guys, I'm now launching my Kickstarter of the Sparkle Dog Funko Pop. So,
really? Wow.
Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
That's awesome. That takes us right into the next question I had. Merchandise. Well, how much or how little, or do you worry about that? Do you have specific things? What do you do for merchandise? Tom, what do you think?
You're not a. Yeah, go ahead.
We don't deal with much merch. Merch is becoming something that's all over the place. People are doing it in different ways, and I'm kind of like, are you selling merch or are you selling comics?
Yeah.
And there's not really a right answer, right? Like however you want to do it is how you want to do it. But for me, I have always come at comics as I need to sell comics first. That has to be step one. And then anything else is sort of icing on the cake. So the only merch that we have like, we have some pins, we have a handful of like those acrylic standees that we've done sort of over the years. And I've just kind of gotten some leftovers. So we bring them to the con. We do have the one true piece of merch is the Critter action figure. So those we bring and, we set them up next to the Critter comics. And that, I will tell you, that sort of true merch gets a lot of notice, right? It doesn't mean that we're going to sell a lot of them, but when people see something like that on the table, it's like a Funko Pop, right? If they understand, because even though they don't know what Critter is, they understand what an action figure is. They understand the box, the toy. They are like, oh, there's like a real toy of this. Yeah, this is a real toy of this. Comic is right next to it. Let me tell you about the comic, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's like really cool. So that kind of like upper level merch is stuff that we're kind of working on doing a little bit more than usual. We're working on a second toy right now that we're going to do hopefully next year, assuming the tariffs don't go batshit crazy. But hopefully we'll be able to do that next year because the people that do the toys are like, no, there's really nothing happening right now. It's inconsequential. So I'm like, okay, we'll see where we are next year when we're ready to do this. But that's the stuff. Like we've done shirts over the years in small quantities. That stuff's a pain in the ass because if you're going to make it, you have to make all these different sizes and you have to guess what people want to buy.
Yes.
So really the merch, the best way to deal with merch, if you want to do that kind of stuff, is use places like Redbubble and things like that, where you can just upload art and then the art just gets dispersed across 1,000 products and people can go in and be like, well, I want a mug. Bing, go get a mug. Now you're not going to make a fortune off of it. Your percentage on that stuff is very low, but there's no cost to you either. It's you're not sitting on 1,000 mugs trying to sell them. It's just, oh, bing, we sold a mug. Here's $3 for you. Oh, great. Okay. I'll take $3. I know on our Redbubble, we've had people buying Princesses versus Zombies pillows, all kinds of crap like that. Cause we get the notifications. You sold a pillow. I'm like, that's wild and crazy. And I love it that it's on that is on somebody's sofa right now. That's insane.
Yeah. Is it pretty frequent that happens or?
It's very infrequent, but also in fairness, I don't really promote that it exists either. Again, promotion, right, is like you have to keep telling people that you do stuff. Right. And I'm just like, I don't have the energy for this, man. My energy goes into making the stuff. Yeah. And then I do these podcasts and stuff where, again, in my brain, I'm like, this should be enough. I just mentioned Redbubble. Everybody should be on Redbubble right now buying Big Dog Inc. stuff, right? But that's not the way it works.
There's a body pillow. I'm getting that.
There's all kinds of crap, dude. There's all kinds of crap.
Nice. Shadow, your fun Funko Pops. What do you do
for merchandise?
Yeah,
I haven't gotten to that level, but so far stickers and bookmarks have been my little go-to. Like I just, truthfully, when it comes to that, I just believe you need people want the book. Yeah. At times, and granted, that doesn't mean in the future I'm not gonna, maybe do some acrylic standees or just something. But right now, I just like giving out freebies to market and advertise. That's why I have my little coaster business cards as well. Which I did find a company that allows you to print front and back at no additional charge. Oh, nice. So that was cool. Yeah. So that saved me a lot of time. Now I just have a bunch of the QR code stickers. So I want to go stick those on a bunch of Tim Hortons poles and bathroom stalls and other places. So, I mean, hey, look, that's one of the other things too that I always try to look for when it comes to merchandising is where can I drop off these little freebies, like a table or like, at Motor City Nightmares, they have the little freebie table. So you can drop a couple of business cards down there, or like at an empty table, just put the sticker down there. I've heard that people cons don't like you doing that. But at the same time, though, it's like, people will pick it up and be like, oh, what's this? Where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
Well, I think what the cons don't like are stickers, because and this is what I was told early on, like, don't have stickers because the cons are afraid that people are just going to take them and stick them all over the building.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm like,
and then they have to end up paying for that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all. Because if someone's going to take a sticker that is a branded thing of mine, why would they go stick it on a urinal? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I never stopped, and I never had anyone come rag on me. It was always just like other creators are like, oh, don't do that. I'm like,
I went to one convention one time when they said that, they couldn't do stickers at the convention anymore. And that was because actually somebody actually did that. But that was the only one, you know what I mean? That was the only one that I saw that they actually had problems. But that was like, I feel like that was just one person that was just being a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it messed it up for everybody at that convention.
Yeah.
But other than that, I hadn't had problems that much with stickers or anything like that. So, yeah.
We just changed it all up. Honestly, everything's a magnet now. So
yeah.
Like, all right, whatever. So now you want to go stick it. You want to go stick magnets to like the fire extinguisher or whatever. Be my guest.
I had these big Cthulhu stickers.
Nice.
Which I really like. No, but when you go to bars and everything, a lot of the times you will see people just load up, the bathroom walls and the bathroom stalls with stickers and everything. So that's if they're there, join in on it. Is what I'm saying. I'm promoting vandalism.
Now we know what you're saying. You go tagging stuff. I know Chad tags stuff. He looks like a tagger.
I do tag stuff, man. I tag with my symbols and everything. Nice. My blood and crypt symbols everywhere.
Well, I'm saying, man, you better watch out. I got my eye on you, man.
He can just blame his evil twin.
Matthias, any other merch that you focus on?
Really, the only real merch I would say is, we do have bookmarks. When we do have stickers. We have some t-shirts, but our t-shirts they do come from Redbubble, so we only have a small amount that we take around, and we don't take them to every convention.
They're a pain in the butt.
Yeah, they are. One is the displays, trying to display the sizes and display what different types you have. You know what I mean? That unless you're going to be a t-shirt place, it's going to be difficult. So, and most of the time, if we do take it, it almost ends up being a complete table onto itself. So what we end up doing is we might take and display one that is reflective of what we're trying to push at that convention at that time, and then the rest of it is kind of like, we may wear one or something like that, and that's pretty much it. But we do have plushies. The plushies have been selling. So the plushies are actually these guys. They're actually a character in the book. So the cool thing about it is just this cross promotion, and you put the plushie out, you put the plushies out, and you put we do have little small figurines of the characters and some of the little creatures that are in the kid book, Shinobi Ninja Princess book. So they're small, and they are around, they all feed back into the book. Like the center part of it is the books. Like that's the center, right? And something that Tom was saying that I agree with is like, at some point you gotta figure out what you actually are. Are you going to be a publisher, or are you going to be a
Toys R Us
store? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A Funko Pop store. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like kind of like, you gotta decide. And like, I really want to be able to make the books and the story the central thing, and everything else kind of have to kind of like revolve around it. Yeah. So like in like an orbit. So like if I sell a plushie and I don't sell a book, I feel it's cool, but I feel like less gratification, if that makes sense. If I sell a book and not a plushie, I'm like, they're reading the actual story and getting them hooked. Now, if I sell a plushie and a book, oh shoot, well, hang it up for me. I'm just gonna go pass out.
I think it's as cool as it is that I loved selling books, and this happened at me at Really Cool Con. I get very confused when people buy the second issue of something without the first issue.
They're just vibing on the cover. That's all that is. I've had people. What's really funny is I have 5 volumes of Critter, right, and the second volume is yellow. The cover is primarily yellow, and as they come up to Critter, 9 times out of 10, that is the one they will reach for and pick up first. And it's just because that yellow has popped to them, and they're like, oh, let me just go right here, because it's screaming at me. It's so yellow. So whatever's on issue 2, they're just vibing on whatever happens to be there.
Oh, it's Ginger with her boobs.
Well, there you go. I mean, I don't know what you're.
So we know, okay. So we know what it is.
There's no confusion here.
No, there's no confusion. I know exactly what they're doing and what they're going to do with it. Those creepy people. But at the same time, though, it's just very confusing to me because the guy looked me dead in the eyes, and I was very uncomfortable. And I go, hey, that's issue 2. He's like, I'm gonna get this. I'm like, that's issue 2. And he goes, I know. And I'm like, okay, thank you for your money. And then I like dropped it in very carefully, like
sprayed it off with like
disinfected it. Like, ugh, gross.
Well, that kind of brings us into my last question. We only have about 10 minutes left, believe it or not. But I wanted to talk about, because I think it's important for especially like people who are just beginning out to really think about this, is the cost of cons can be touch or go, pluses or cons, whatever, pros or cons, whatever, however you want to see it. But it can be sometimes kind of daunting. So clearly, depending on the con, there'll be different prices for. Some of them are starting to get pretty hefty prices, I think, for a single 6-foot or 8-foot table. How often do each of you think about, well, you got to spend money to make money. So even if I don't make back the table of this con or whatever it is, the price of getting there or whatever it is, at least I was able to meet new people, to be able to get more eyes on the book. Or is it, I don't think I'd be able to make that back. If there's a $1,000 table, I don't think I would be able to make that back. So I'm not gonna go $1,000 is clearly too much. But the idea is, how much do you teeter-totter between that table's too much, but I know it's gonna get a lot of eyes on my book, rather than I'm gonna look for a table for $50 and know that the con probably isn't gonna be that big.
Man, I go through that a lot. Because a lot of the conventions that I end up going to, a lot of times they do cost a little bit more. But the one thing that I'm starting to realize, especially this year, is that there is I like to call it the grief to dollar ratio. I always talk about that. It's just, how much grief is it going to be able to get to this convention and set up? And is that grief going to be worth the dollar that you're going to actually end up making? You know what I mean? That's one thing. Another part of that too is like, what does that convention do for you after the convention's over? Which means that it's cool. Like if you go to a convention, I've been to a convention before where I made good money, right, at that convention, but the months after that, my store got no hits. Now that convention, I made good money, and it makes you feel good about going. But then once you figure out that selling wise on your site or on your Patreon or your Kickstarter or anything like that, it's like starting over every time. You kind of like, man, there's got to be a better way. So I always weigh that into perspective too. Like if I'm going to a convention, what is that going to do for me as well? So like say if for instance, when we used to do San Diego Comic-Con, we spent a lot of money just getting to San Diego for one. In the booth. Now we made money back, but we spent a lot of money. Now the thing that I have to look at too is that after that, we sold a lot off of our site. just from being there. All right. Like, for instance, like I just came back from San Diego. I didn't set up at all. I just came around and was passing out, talking to friends and passing out like flyers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I sold books off of my site just for being there and not even setting up. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, when you think about that and you weigh your options that way, it could sway you to be like, I'm just going to put out a little bit of money to get a table and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As opposed to, and you might not go to the convention that was just like, I know I'm going to make some money, but later on, it's not going to do anything and it won't carry me through tough times later on. You see what I'm saying? So those are the kind of like the options I go back and forth on. Like next year when we go, because we're setting up at San Diego again next year. But because we're doing that, I'm willing to cut out other conventions that I'm doing this year for that next year. You know what I mean? Just to weigh the options, just to be able to say, okay, I'm going to put out more money this way that I'm not going to spend at this convention, but I'd rather do that over here for San Diego Comic-Con and possibly get sales throughout the rest of the year and through that convention that I was going to go to, as opposed to having to start over every time, every month, trying to be able to get people to go back to the store.
Yeah.
Tom,
what do you think?
Yeah, cons are all trial and error. So you have to try a con to see if it has any value to you when you're starting, right? And you do the con, you say, okay, this was pretty good. We'll come back next year. You do the con, it wasn't very good. You say, well, now it's like Martha said, is it a 2-hour drive? Is it an 8-hour drive? Is it worth maybe giving it a second try versus going somewhere else? I've done conventions literally coast to coast. Every one of the big ones I've been to, tons of the little ones. We used to do 20 shows a year. We used to do everything. And it got to a point where I shut that down and we went from about 20 to about 10. And then that 10 went to about 5, but we had a new mix of cons that was now inviting us to be there. So it was like, okay, hey, we know you're not doing a lot of shows anymore, but we'll give you a table if you come to our table. Oh, okay. Well, now you're talking about a different thing. Now, the instead of that $600 that we have to pay for the table, oh, you've made this much easier for us. So there's a whole bunch of shows now that just are like, just come. We want you here. And that's great. And that's an amazing blessing that we have to have these shows that think that we have value to them. Imagine that. Comic Cons think that comic book people have value. Like really strange, right? Including Big Texas Comic Con, which is a big honking con in San Antonio, who's bringing like 6 of us down in October to celebrate our 15-year anniversary this year. So awesome. Yeah, there are conventions that, you can kind of, build relationships with, and they'll see like, this guy's valuable to have here. This company's valuable to have here, particularly if you're local, right? Because a lot of cons will be very, very happy to help local people get involved in their shows. Now, somebody in California, they're not going to give 2 craps about me. It's irrelevant. But local, that's where it's kind of started, and then it branched out, and we started getting invitations all over the place. This is great. But all the shows that we did, we were able to really compare and contrast. Like if we go here, this doesn't work. If we go here, this works really well. So we know we can put a little money into that one because it's going to work. Great point on the thought process of when you're done, what's the result? Do you get website hits? Do you get people friending you on Facebook or whatever? It's a fantastic point. There is that extra bonus value, hopefully, that can be, gotten from any show that you go to. But that is another thing, it might be pricey to do it, like a San Diego Comic-Con, but when you're in front of that many people, the doors are wide open, particularly if you're boothing, and you can give out, even if you're just handing out 1,000 flyers to 1,000 people that goes home with these new eyeballs. That could be, anything could happen from that. So I don't think there's a right or wrong in cons. I think wherever you are, you need to really like saturate yourself within like a 2-hour drive of wherever you are. If there's an event, 2 hours, you got to be there. And then again, if it tanks, don't go back, but saturate yourself in your surroundings and then slowly work that out. Okay, let's go 3 hours out. Where does that take us? 4 hours out. Where does that take us? And then 1 year, you're just going to be like, you know what? We're going to San Diego. We're going to New York. We're going to Emerald City. We're going to MegaCon. Just make that. This is what we're doing this year. And then go take that shot for yourself, because that was one of the things for us. Is one of the reasons that we kind of popped early. I was living in California at the time when we started Big Dog Inc. We were in Baltimore and Heroes Con and MegaCon. We were all over the place when we started. Now we were hemorrhaging money also because we only had a couple of issues at the time, right? But because we were making those appearances in these, satellite areas to us, people were like, "Yo, look at this stuff. This is cool." And so our sales at the cons were low because we didn't have enough product, but our sales in the comic book store, because we were in comic stores at the time, we started to see the rise of our sales in comic book stores because we were bouncing around. So there's a lot of layers to this.
Yeah. Nice.
Also, one of my friends just said he said that to Mike Norton, he was saying that if you go to a convention, sometimes it's good to be able to you go 2 years, then take a year off, then go back 2 years, and then take a year off, so that people can kind of remember and forget. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in a area of like you're saying, that 4 hour, 2 hour radius. So you might want to, if you have a lot of conventions around you, rotate them out every 2 years. You go here 2 years, you go there 2 years, you go here 2 years, you go there 2 years, so that people can kind of be like, "Oh man, I remember. Oh yeah, what you got now?" You know what I mean? And then you're not killing yourself as far as trying to get out, work, and something's always new to somebody at that point too.
Nice. Chad, what do you think? Thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts, actually. Well, I mean, I guess I look to see which conventions are the closest. But that also like if the con is terrible and expensive, like like Motor City Nightmares, I usually do it every year. But now that's a good idea, Martheus. It's just like rotating them out. So go 2 years, then come back. Because when I was there was just everybody, like the same people do that show every year. And it was starting to really show. And I know a lot of cons end up doing that, where they give everybody like first come, first serve to the people who already are returning.
Yep.
So I think rotating them out would be a great call. But I would not go at this point like to San Diego Comic-Con and hope to make money.
No.
Like that's just silly.
No, like even me,
so.
I'm not going to San Diego Comic-Con really to make money. I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con to be able to have the longevity and the legs for the next couple of years. I mean, the next couple of months. I mean, just to be able to kind of do that, as well as like, now we do have reasons to be out there. Like I have friends that I want to be able to see, that I don't get a chance to see anymore. And like, there's also like this year, my wife was on a panel. So, there's reasons other than just selling for me to be out there. You know what I'm saying? But I really do want to be able to get more eyes on the products that we have and the things that we're doing. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to get longevity out of that. That I feel person to person, you're able to do a lot better now, even more than social media. You know what I mean? You're able to draw people in person to person rather than, trying to be the next TikTok star, something like that. So.
Look, I think that's a great place to end it. We're a little bit over an hour here. I think we've got some good tips, some pros and some cons, some things to be able to help people out. And I think it was a great hour and 10 minutes of just trying to make it through conventions, trying to make sure that you get everything you need out of it, while making sure you're making those connections with other people. So Martheus and Chad and me, you can find us all on the Cosmos Facebook page, and you can find us on our link tree, right, Chad? Our link tree is up and running still?
Yep, everything's still up and running.
Awesome. And then Tom, do you have something you want to plug before we get off?
We're going to be launching the omnibus for the Legend of Oz: The Wicked West in about 2 weeks. Actually, nice. Yeah, about 2 weeks from today. It'll be our first omnibus. It'll be like 500 pages, the first 4 volumes of Oz. And then in October, we'll be celebrating our 15-year anniversary with the BD 15 anthology, which will be 3 10-page stories across all of our different books.
Awesome. Good stuff coming out.
And then and then mine and Tom's anthology will be coming out in the next like 2 years. So we're as we brainstorm that.
Nice. Keep it coming. You never know what's going to come out of it. Right?
Yep.
Nice. All right. Everybody's good?
Yep.
Did it. Cosmos has the power.
Yeah. Do you want me to play the video? Or
roll out video? Let's do it.
Okay. It doesn't cut. Like the free version doesn't cut.
Good looking video.
It is. No, it is.